High Cardinal. The Dominion's all but done for.
That's what I heard.
And it's lucky we stayed here.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Could be trouble.
You're that sellsword the Dame's so fond of. That was some fine work you did up in Moor. We'll, see to our own affairs from now on now. Duke's got big plans for the Empire.
I don't trust this Duke. If we're not careful, he'll undo all the Dame's hard work.
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal.
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sanbreque. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sanbreque. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
The fact that the soldiers trust you may well carry some weight with the Duke. He needs their support, after all. I only hope that you can make him see sense before he tears the town apart.
Might this Duke have been at the remembrance ceremony?
Let's hope we didn't make a strong impression.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the Dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. The citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
The Lord leaves his tower to build a new keep. Her town split asunder, the lady, she weeps.
Do you think he was the only one who survived? Does it matter?
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Could be trouble again.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand. The Duke might have soldiers at his beck and call, but us common folk follow the dame, and no one else.
That so-called Duke is asking too much. Ether floods, icons, whites and walks, and then there's the skies. Seems to me the realm's had enough of our antics, and this is her way of finishing us off.
Half of what comes in is barely fit for pressing, let alone eating.
Was a time the market stalls were lined with all manner of goods from the four corners of Valisthea. Now, we're lucky to find an unbruised pip or a decent loaf of rye.
Sell anything today?
As much as you, I'll wager.
Before you ask, it's all salted. You want fresher? Go find yourself a rod and some whelks.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme. The dame actually cares about this town, unlike the Duke. He's only interested in picking our pockets to line his own.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
And to think, I would be lying under a pile of rubble in Twinsea.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
If he comes calling, the only thing I'm giving the Duke of Oriflamme's a piece of my mind. Maybe a smack in the gob.
You're that sellsword the dame's so fond of. That was some fine work you did up in Moor. We'll, see to our own affairs from now on now. Duke's got big plans for the Empire.
He was the only one who survived. And you're just gonna fall into line? What else can I do?
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. But I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes. I mean, it'd be nice if we could all do whatever the hell we wanted and not end up being torn to shreds by a swarm of fiends. But we can't, so we've got to make sacrifices, just like the Duke of Oriflamme says.
only control of the garrison he wants. It's the whole of North. We already have a leader in the Dame.
One at a time now. There's enough.
We don't have much, but the Dame had us empty the Vale's larders to see these poor souls fed. Because that is what we do.
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Dame, but I'm with the Duke on this one. If turning this place into a fortress is what it takes to protect my family, I'll do it.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
What the common folk don't understand is, this is for them too. Either we turn the Empire back into a force to be reckoned with, or we live in fear the rest of our lives.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
A whole day to dry some...
Welcome back. Wraiths give you any trouble?
None worth mentioning. Just staying put for now.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then?
Despite my repeated advances, His Eminence has proven a difficult conquest. Fortunately, I am nothing if not persistent. But, be that as it may, I might yet need you to press the point.
Your town needs you. I need you.
But the Duke would have me collecting irons.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
You know what you have to do.
I won't let you down.
Clive, I fear that I must bid you farewell. As you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most vocal ally, I trust you, as I trusted your predecessor.
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment, and I understand more than anyone how you feel. But is revenge really the answer?
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for since that day.
But what of Lostwing? Everything you've built.
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have served its purpose. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last, come what may. But there are those among us who cannot fight. Children, the elderly, bearers afflicted by the curse. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay a safe haven for long. And so, Clive, I find myself turning to you once more. Will you take them to your hideaway, that they might live even should Lostwing die?
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did not see to the well-being of those who rallied to my cause. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales, away from danger in case the Black Shields strike.
Understood. I'll make sure they get to the hideaway safely.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. Fare you well, Clive. And may Griga guide us. All of us. Those who cannot join us in the coming fight are gathered at Gotan's Bales. I would ask that you see them to safety.
I'll search the village one last time for any stragglers. Then join Master Quinton and get some justice.
Come then, brother. We are awaited in Gotan's Bales.
Come on.
Faster!
Thanks, Gal. Everyone, Quinton has asked that you come with me. He can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can. There's a safe place I can take you to.
Well, if that's what the Master thinks best. Sid, none of us would be standing here today if it weren't for Master Quinton. We owe him our lives. So we ain't about to start telling him what he should do with his. If he's saying we ain't safe in Lostwing no more, it's 'cause he ain't coming back. And if that's what has to happen, then so be it. I only hope he can see this through to the end. That we get to see justice done.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot! Where's everyone else? They ain't already left, have they?
They've gone with Master Quinton.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. We have to get Quinton to call off the attack. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. A fucking monster. They don't stand a chance against that thing. If I don't get the message to them, they're all gonna fucking die.
No. We can't let this happen. Sid! Don't worry about us. You've got to catch up with him. We can't let Quentin die before that bastard does.
All right. I'll do what I can. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east, through the woods. Heaven Hall, he calls it.
Promise us, Sid. Promise us you'll do what you can.
The manor's to the east of Lostwing, through the woods. Quentin and the others will be halfway there already. You have to hurry.
Please, Sid, you've got to catch up with him. Don't let all our work be in vain.
I still haven't paid Quentin back for saving my life. So don't let him die. Not yet.
Oh, fuck. No. Don't tell me we're too late. Quentin, are you all right?
No. But I am alive. Which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question all the way here. And they died. For nothing.
This must be the guard dog. Quentin. I'll hold it off. You go.
But...
your comrades didn't die for nothing. They died for you. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
Come on, then. No. Not a beast that needs to be put down. Too slow. Get him! If only we'd arrived earlier. Is it over?
It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear. Just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans. Building a haven in Lostwing. Freeing bearers from their chains and recruiting them to my cause. It was all for this. But what is this? Justice? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost. So that I might take another.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh, thank Grieger you're safe.
You're alive.
And so are you. I'm so sorry. I tried to warn you about that thing. And I hate to say it, but there's more bad news. It's Lostwing. It's been flooded.
What? Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool! Damn it. Quinton's not going to last long in there.
Can we finish this quickly?
I need to find Quinton. Quinton! Quinton! Look at me! Thank the Founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
The flood has filled the valley.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one's life's ambition.
No, Master Quinton. Save your strength.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. Only emptiness remains. I have nothing left to live for.
What the heck are you on about? You've got us, ain't you? Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge. We're more than that to you, and we all know it.
I thought you weren't coming back. But I prayed, and you did. There's got to be a reason for that, right? Can't we just go back to how it was? You know, you looking after us all.
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quinton. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we still do.
Your village may be lost, but it seems your people aren't, so long as you remain to guide them.
But why? After what I... Why would anyone follow me?
'Cause we're family, aren't we?
Family?
Yeah, and all our comrades who went with you, they felt the same. Lostwing weren't just a village. It was all of us.
It was. And as long as we're still here, it is too.
We can start again. Build a new Lostwing, right here in the Bales.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another begins. Why just a village? We could build towns. A nation, even. What's to stop us?
That's the Master Quinton we know.
Please. I am nobody's master. Quinton will suffice. After all, we are family. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my people.
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf. You saved my life twice over. And more besides.
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. Nothing but the best. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet. If you don't mind waiting, that is.
I look forward to it.
They are right, you know. Lostwing can be rebuilt. It was more than a mere village. More than a staging ground for revenge. It was a vision of how life might be. Of how we who have suffered can come to find family again.
I'd have followed Quinton to that manor if I could have done, and I'll keep following him now. Wherever that surly bastard cares to lead us.
We may be bruised, we may be battered, but we won't stop fighting.
Master Quinton needs us now more than ever.
Quinton's gonna build us new Lostwing, and I'm gonna help.
Take that, you naughty thief! And that!
Stop it!
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats, and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between a lord and a mayor? That's easy. One of them?
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalimil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
The camp is in the desert to the north of here. You know what to do.
That must be the camp Victor mentioned.
We make this quick.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off!
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dhalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
Why are you taking the bearer's side, Winter? You want to?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving them
Knew all along that he was playing us for fools.
And we fell for it.
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refuse to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But...
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones, it is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Your reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.